Hey, Malta Eurovision Song Contest is nearing, and that means we're just a week away from the semi-final and then the final of the Maltese national selection. And we'll find out soon who Malta sends to Vienna to represent the country at Eurovision 2026. My name is Tatiana Spiteri. This is Blogovision. I want to tell you guys about my top 5 artists who I believe could represent and should represent Malta this year. I want to look through the songs again and share my, pluses and minuses, see what could be improved, what needs to be done on stage in order to impress. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and let's start. Ooh, oh my god, 18 submissions, a bit less than usually in Malta Eurovision Song Contest, so thank you, BBS. And only one semi-final this time, which means we're not going to go through a lot of eliminations or whatnot. Of the 18 songs that we have, 12, that's a lot, will go through. That means that only leaves 6 contestants out of the national final. That's not so many. That means many of participants from the semi-final will get a chance to also perform and shine in the final. But before we go to those who I believe are the top picks for this year for Malta, I would like to say a couple of words about Malta's history in Eurovision. Let's go. Participations 37, that's a lot. Malta has been one of the steadiest countries in Eurovision, and victories so far 0, which is not obviously great. Maltese people are really underwhelmed by the results that, by the votes that Malta normally gets. They obviously blame the fact that Malta is a no voting bloc country, doesn't have neighbors to vote for it. The only neighbor Malta has participating in Eurovision at all is Italy. And Italy often doesn't give a damn about Malta, let's be honest. So Malta is pretty much on its own. However, it became second twice, and there are many countries which have never won Eurovision so far, over 10 countries, if I remember well, and they hadn't, crawled all the way to the top 3 or top 2, and Malta has done it twice. That was, of course, with Ira Losco and with Chiara Angel. My favorite ever submission from Malta. I am a big fan of Chiara's voice, Chiara's song. This year I had a chance, last year now, 2025, I had a chance to see her live. She is back, she is good, the single is great. I really enjoy her live voice. OMG, goosebumps. Last places 5. Malta has landed last, dead last 5 times. That's painful, let's be honest. However, now points it never got, ever. We have UK, we have Germany, we have Spain, who have repeatedly, Austria, got 0 points, and this is not the case with Malta, which means despite being a small, and you would say no voting, no neighbors, no nothing country, no nothing, yeah, it still has some love from the jury, often from the jury. So the fact that this year juries are back in the semifinals of Eurovision might play its good role in terms of Malta qualifying for the final. So my number 1 that could represent Malta this year, they are in no particular order. It doesn't mean that I love, one more than the other. However, I'll give you my thoughts soon. Is, of course, drum roll. Who do you think? Aiden. Obviously, let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. Aiden has all the chances to represent Malta this year. He's been working hard to make it happen. He didn't compete the last 2 years in Malta Eurovision Song Contest, and he was almost the winner when he came as a runner-up with Ritmo. Eurovision community fell in love with him, even though he didn't win back then. He didn't have to win, people's hearts. And that image of a cowboy was sexy, so sort of his signature look back then, that he decided to return to that image this year. This is not my first listening by any means, but I want to give you guys my thoughts as they come, and go on the good and bad sides about the song. Yeah, it's very theatrical, very dramatic, and the raw version of that did not sound like that. To that extent, it was a ballad, but not that sort of cinematic, romantic. It was romantic, but he took it to a sort of more theatrical, let's call it musical level. He's feeling blue. He has a song called Blue. Check it out if you haven't heard. Yeah, like it's his voice, it's his signature voice. It's very tender, very soft. I don't know if it's maybe strong enough to impress the juries as much or certain listeners, but he has his ways of charming the audience, the listener. This pre-chorus slash chorus, you know what? Skyfall. Skyfall. He is going James Bondish, and he knows it. And he knows it. Italian slash, well, it's Italian Bella, obviously, not Maltese. In Maltese, it would be Sabiha for beautiful. So he's going Italian because Maltese understand Italian. Most of Maltese, born and raised Maltese, do speak Italian and studied at school as well and just watch on TV, whatnot. This part with Bella, 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 I'm not sure that's my cup of tea. I think it's probably the weakest part of the song. But then, again, we go to verse and, yeah, the second verse is not really even a verse. The second verse is basically the Bella, 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 and then pre-bridge and bridge. Okay. Soundtrack, vibe. And suddenly we're in Maltese. I've noticed this is the trend this year. The contestants are doing songs in English, and then in the second verse slash after second chorus, they suddenly go to Maltese a bit. That trend started with Aiden with his previous tracks, and others have picked it up, and Aiden just continues his own trend, of mixing the two languages. Why not? Very soft, yeah, very beautiful ending too. Oh, so skyfallish, so skyfallish. So I actually am one of those who had the privilege to be at Malta Eurovision a songwriting camp or Eurovision exchange camp this past summer, which means I was observing, like I heard the raw demo of this song back then in June 2025, and I already said back then the song is strong. It might not be ritmo, sort of height, at least for me, but it is different. It is still Aiden. It is showing another side to him. But let's be objective. Aiden had issues before with PBS, and when he had Regina competing to go to, MESC a couple years ago, he was sort of shut down. He was disqualified from the competition for sharing just some small snippet or promoting the song on Instagram and social media. Like that was against the rule of PBS. He was disqualified. He had this legal battle, but then they made a sort of an agreement, yeah, for him to come to the interval to be an interval act. Guys, that year, the interval act was probably stronger than the other acts, the competing acts of MESC. Like it was how it would be on Grammy stage, on, I don't know, Oscar stage when the soundtrack comes in, from some movie. Like that was so spectacular that I still keep rewatching that interval, even though it wasn't competing. And it was like a medley of his songs. Wow. This song, for those who know Aiden through Ritmo, through Regina, or 2 by 2 this might be just, a bit maybe underwhelming in the sense that they're used to Aiden a certain way. And if that's the Aiden that you fell in love with, I can imagine why the song you would go like, oh, but where is the Ritmo? Where is Regina? Where is all of that? Like, where is the dancey vibe? And this to some may be like, oh, is that Aiden that we know? Is that the vibey, dancey, happy Aiden? Why is it so dramatic? I understand that he wanted a different, entry. He wanted to have fun, and he is having fun. And I'm sure he's gonna impress and surprise with the staging because he is the staging master. He is the showman. I've been to his live shows. I know what it's like. Basically, he'll do his best to win this year. And for once, I think PBS is on the same side as him. And they both see the potential and the audience, and the Eurovision fans are all for Aiden. Malta is rooting for Aiden. So it will be hard. It will be super hard to compete this year with this entry. I'm not saying this is the best of Aiden in years, but I'm saying this might be easily enough to let him win the Eurovision this year due to massive love of Maltese audience, media, radio, everybody. Like he is that big in Malta. He is that big. We are moving on to my pick number two, and that's of course Matt Baby Black. He is one of my personal favorites, if not the favorite, actually, artist of Malta. OMG, I am so hyped that he is back again. He went to live in London, so he didn't compete last year, and I was waiting so much for his return. Now that he's back, and he's back for good, he came up with a strong, bombastic entry with a little bit of folk. In the summer camp that I visited, the summer songwriting Eurovision camp, he actually had a different song composed that he was thinking to submit. Maybe he had submitted it, maybe he hadn't. But apparently, then he came up with this new song, Eya Laun. Oh my god, it's hard to pronounce. Let's call it the English version, the flute. But the Maltese name means something like come here close to me. The flute it is. Let's go and discuss. Matt usually comes up with this like strong, dense, powerful powerhouses. This one is not an exception. But it starts very like softly, gently, right? That's not what you usually hear Matt's entries are usually already like pa, 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 and this one is leading in. Melatla, no. The pre-chorus is super poppy, like popcorn poppy. Also, I don't mind it because then it goes into this fun folky chorus. Woo, you see my mic cannot stand it. Have you guys seen that kid who was headbanging to the song in the car? OMG, that was funny. This is so folky. The chorus is like asking for some, I don't know, some national dancing, although I have no idea. I've been asking Maltese people, is there some kind of national dance for a while now? And they haven't really told me anything. Like, there is a certain history of mix of Arabic, Maltese, Mediterranean influence, music and dancing. But dancing itself, like just like folk dancing, even though it's still, remembered, it exists, you can go dance it somewhere, I'm sure. But it's not that like, known yet. Maybe he would put on a national outfit, like a costume, of like folky national costume. I wouldn't mind it. Matt knows how to surprise, The song is very fast paced, yeah. It sort of doesn't let you be bored, and you sort of just get into the groove. It doesn't really require you to understand the lyrics or the verses. It's a happy-go-lucky song, with a bit of folk twist. Many people this year in the contest, in the Malta Eurovision Song Contest, are going for this folk elements of folk vibes. And again, we had Maltese language in the song. Yeah, Aiden started it, everybody else picked it up. And then we go to this electronic bit, yeah? Is that the Christis Piteris vibe from last year? Is it AJ's influence? Remember how the song progresses and how it goes into this electronic dance beat in the end? I like it. I mean, Matt is humorous, He knows how to catch the audience just like Aiden does. And Matt has had such an amazing, outstanding sort of skyrocketing career in Malta Eurovision Song Contest. He basically came like with his first ever like debut single, Come Around, which is still my favorite entry of his, in years. And I absolutely love it and still listen to it. From the 7th place that he got with Come Around, he was runner-up, and he just kept bringing, this bangers, this powerhouse like bops, and this one is not an exception. It's really, kind of song you'll put on repeat because the chorus is catchy, the music is fun, it has such interesting progression, it changes all the time, doesn't leave you kind of hanging and being bored, So the time passes like flies by, And I think if we talk staging, because Aiden is a super, mighty competition this year, and if he does, take it seriously, and he usually does in terms of staging, I loved his up staging. Up, which is down, 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 that one. Yeah, out like, oh wow, he knows how to tell a story. And I think if he does manage to take us through like different stages of the music, I think he could surprise. He is that one who will be the strongest competition to Aiden this year. So for me, it will be a tug of war, between Aiden's Bella and Matt's the flute. We'll see who takes the trophy. And like this, I'm going on to my third potential strongest entry of this year, and that is Denise with the trophy. Exactly. Trophy is not her first song, not her first competitive entry. She already had Mara in previous MESC. It was not my favorite entry, but it did come fifth, mostly thanks to jury. Mara didn't like shoot as much as it could have. This time with trophy, she might want to go for that trophy. She's doing everything to go for that trophy. Let's hear the entry, and I want to express my thoughts. She's one of the favorites this year to win MESC by fans' expectations and desires, so to say. Like in Matt's case, very quiet start. She's not here for funny games. She's here for the trophy, baby. It's really getting dark. And then she goes from this I mean, who doesn't like unana, anana? But I think, yeah, it's dancey, it's fun. But like, I'm a bit sort of conflicted. The song, that's the word. The song makes me conflicted. I'm experiencing this inner conflict between the sort of upbeat, positive vibes, and then this dark, low voice and sort of threatening. I don't know how to say that. Like, the sounds are very intimidating at certain points in the song. It's as if she's deceiving us. It's as if she's like, oh, I'm such a cute girl, la la la, and then she goes, no, no, no. And like, I'm gonna take that trophy. I'm going to, a bit of like, I don't know how to call it, like a vulture vibe or something. Like, she's coming for the win and for the kill. Like, yeah, exactly. There's this juxtaposition of the two moods in the song. This part is cool. Yeah, the na-na and the stop and the, We'll just be waiting for na-na-na repetition, right? Because that's what everybody will be appreciating in the song. And then the recap, they'll surely put out the na-na-na part, I think. Yeah, because that's it. That's what Eurovision fans are going for. Yeah, ding dong.